Welcome back to Eye on the Money, and today on the show we're discussing how to reinvent your business. And with me on the show I have Shiba Njagi from Syntonomy. Now Shiba, before we took a break, you were taking us through the process of determining whether your business is at that point, when it needs to reinvent, and what you need to think about as you're reinventing. Now I need to ask, Shiba, with any business, it's usually not just the owner that's running it. There's a whole chain, there's a whole value chain. So my question is, where's the place of the employee and management in reinventing? Because, you could be used to running a business a certain way, then you decide to reinvent, and the employees or, other members of management are also used to running it the way things were done in the past. So what's the place of the employee, and also how can you ensure that everyone is on board with your mission and vision of reinventing?
I like that because at this point in the year, in our economy, based on also what businesses have experienced in the last year, now business owners cannot work alone. And also companies cannot continue working in silos. For example, that is a problem for sales department. That's a problem for marketing department. No. So when we were talking about the 4 key steps of reinvention, we talked about deconstruction, and I hope you can share with your viewers the link to that tool, right? I'll share with you as well. And what is highly encouraged, Ingrid, the process of deconstruction and the process of imagination, you have to make sure you engage or involve your employees. You're not sitting down and doing it on your own. It's actually a very fun exercise, by the way. So if you have a teammate, if you have a team member or a couple of employees, feel free to include them in that process. Go into a boardroom or a place. You remember how we used to do team building?
Right.
Yeah. This process can actually be done in the very very same kind of environment. So make sure that you include them. And in case you don't have a team member, or in case you don't have employees, because there are some business owners, they are still working on their own, this is where you engage your friends and also your family, or even your former colleagues who would be willing to support you, because you cannot imagine completely on your own. Ingrid, that's how I would say in the process, bring on board the key people and just have a moment to share and brainstorm.
Now, Shiba, at the risk of sounding obvious, why is it so important, particularly at a time like this, to reinvent? What are some of the perks? What are some of the benefits that, a business and organization can get out of this?
Sorry, could you ask that question?
The question is, why is this so important? Why, at a time like this, when organizations have gone through a pandemic, when they're dealing with so much, is it so important to go back to the drawing board and figure out ways of reinventing? What do they stand to benefit? What's going to be the positive outcome from this?
It's because problems have changed. Problems have grown. Some problems have reduced. Some problems have increased. The role of a business owner, the role of an entrepreneur is to address and solve a client's problem. So, if, for example, at the moment, your key clients are really focused on what's essential for their life, if at the moment your key clients are mainly figuring out what are we going to eat today, what are we going to sleep? Where are we going to sleep today? Then you need to rethink your business and find out, is my business solving the problem? So this is a very important process for any business owner to do, so that you can make sure you are still in the space of addressing a human need. If you're not addressing a human need, no one needs it, no one will pay for it, and you will be out of business. Right. That is why reinvention is really important.
Great. Now, Shiba, before I let you go, just off the top of your head, 5 vital, useful tips you'd give a business owner who's struggling right now, who really doesn't want to give up and just wants to pick up the pieces through reinventing themselves. What are the top 5 tips you would tell them right now?
Top 5 for me, number 1, Change the scope of your business. For some of your businesses, you may realize that the product you used to sell, the service you used to sell is not required at this moment. So if it's not required at this moment, it's okay to shift gears and ask yourself, then what are my clients suffering from and how can I solve that problem? You will then come to realize that you have certain skills and assets already in your business that you can use to solve a problem as we wait for things to get better when they will. The second thing is change the way your business delivers your product and your service, right? Please remember, after a whole almost 12 months or about 11 months of dealing with the pandemic, many customers have now gotten used to receiving their value online. Make sure also you adjust your business in the very same way, right? Deliver your business in an affordable way and address and update your e-commerce capabilities if that is necessary. And finally, communicate clearly to your customers. Now more than ever, you need to communicate to your customers, your former customers, your current customers more clearly than before, because a lot of value is being offered differently. Let them know we are now open in 2021. Let them know this is how we are planning to be serving you. This is where you can be collecting your stuff. This is a company we are now using to deliver. This is how we are going to make sure we are abiding with the precautions of making sure we don't spread the virus. Be so clear that your client has no doubt in you or in your business. And Ingrid, what I would say is also be in a space, and I remember we said it last year as well when I was with you, and we said also be in a place of learning and networking with other entrepreneurs. There's quite also some other entrepreneurs who have managed to kind of survive. They're still surviving during this time. So if you can spend some time to listen to them, please do. At Centonomy, we usually have very many free webinars. We even have one purely for entrepreneurs on survival coming up on 30th of January. If you could join us, even better. So learn and practice. It's not all over.
Shiba, you're so amazing for always making time to join us here on the show. Thank you very much for those useful tips and information on how to reinvent your business, after the economic shift. Unfortunately, that's where we wrap it up today on Eye on the Money. You can also be a part of the conversation by sending your feedback to our social media pages at Metropole TV KE on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We have so much more programming coming your way. Don't go anywhere.